All right, so I'm gonna kind of try to explain this mess of wires and shit. So, I don't know, for anybody who doesn't really know like fucking anything about no input, you pretty much you make sure you have an effect send. That's gonna be the start of your chain. Then you're gonna run it all the way to your first pedal, then to your second, your third. Then you're gonna put it into just your first channel, or any channel really, but I put it here because it's a little bit of a stretch. So as I was explaining about like putting your delay and reverb pedals behind the whole feedback loop, I just have it so it's like on my main out, I run it through here and then into my amp, because when they're in the loop, they like to the sound that comes out of the feedback loop completely overpowers any reverb or delay that's happening. It kind of it changes how a lot of pedals behave. Like you can use this pedal with a guitar, and then when you use it with no input, it completely changes how it acts. Like here, I'll give you an example. So you see, that's like a pretty bassy sound. But now it just is like really high pitch. So like, just showing you that, like it makes pedals just act a little wacky. Big Muff Pi, it actually acts pretty normal. Like, it's not too crazy. But just a lot of like pretty interesting things like happen with guitar pedals and feedback loops. I think the hardest thing with no input is that it's so finicky. It's so fucking annoying sometimes, because you can get really cool shit out of it, but you can like, I could just turn this knob like that and it's fucked. The whole thing is fucked. If I found that cool like rhythmic like thing that I just did, and I fuck up just a little bit, it's gone forever. I can't recreate it at all. Let me show you why I put the delay and reverb behind it. Because now, I'll just turn on my delay here. So now, I can do this. And you see, so since it's behind the feedback loop, it allows the feedback loop to do everything that it needs to do, and then it'll just act like a normal delay. Because if I have the delay pedal and I turn it on while it's in the feedback loop, it can completely change the sound of what is happening. So it's like if I find a specific sound within this loop, and then I say to myself, oh, it'd be really good with some like reverb, but I turn the reverb pedal on, it changes the whole timbre of everything. It can change the pitch. It can change literally everything about the sound that I liked that was happening. So like, if I just like, man, I should have thought more about what I was going to say, but it just makes it work better pretty much. Like that's just nice. It doesn't like fuck up or anything. And then you can also kind of have, you can make it like self-oscillate if you want to. There's just a lot of more interesting things you can do when you have these out of the way. Specifically my DS1, it acts really, really strange with no input. I highly suggest getting a DS1 if you want to do no input. Let me just fucking... This is a really professional production we got going on here. I've been making videos since I was 5 years old. I'm a fucking cinematographer. You're gonna see how good I am at this by how clumsily I'm doing all this. Hang on. Fucking shit. Okay. Oh no. Okay. There we go. So, DS1, really fucking weird pedal. It's not supposed to do that. Oh yeah. There you go. It's such a high pitch, like, yeah. It's really finicky. Like, okay, all the way here, it was so high pitch I couldn't hear. It was like a fucking dog whistle. But like, if you have the tone all the way up, it's too high pitch. Yeah, you can get really good, like, rhythmic shit out of the DS1. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do with no input. I kind of just like find that just like you have to figure out where you want your pedals and like what you really want to do with it, because if you want something focused, it's going to be really fucking hard, but also very rewarding at the same time. But if you want to do chaotic shit that just kind of fucks up constantly and like doesn't like have any real coherency, like you can easily do that. The biggest challenge, I think, is trying to get some sort of consistency with no input. And the biggest thing you can do is just keep trying, just fuck around with it every single day, and like you'll just get something. Like every day, just turn on whatever you use to record, 4-track, your fucking computer, a mic, whatever. You just turn it on, fuck around, and then you can chop out the bits you don't like and just leave the chunks you do like. So then, because it's a lot of trial and error, it really is. You can't really expect much from no input when it comes to like, I mean, you're better off using a synthesizer if you want to do something like really, really focused. But the kinds of sounds that you can get out of no input is almost worth the chance of completely fucking it up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can try putting delay and reverb in your effect loop. It will do cool shit, but don't expect it to do what it's intended to, if that makes sense. Like, it's not going to do what it's intended to. Barely any of the, like, the DS1, it doesn't even distort shit. It just adds, like, really high-pitched frequencies and rhythmic changes. Big Muff, I think it does add a kind of a fuzz effect. This is, like, my most normal acting pedal. This one's the weirdest one. It can turn into a distortion pedal. It can turn into almost like a phaser. I suggest getting a bass synth wah. If you really want to just have a really dynamic sound with your no input, definitely use this, because I mean you get fucking 7 different settings in this one pedal. So you have so many options with just this. And I've made entire songs with just this pedal. And sometimes just this pedal and like one of these distortions or that fucking Infanum 141G, shit like that. You can really do a lot with this pedal. I highly, highly, highly suggest it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, okay. Now it's pretty much it. Sorry if this isn't fucking like... I'm sorry if it's all over the place. I'm not fucking good at making videos, but I do want to help people out and like understanding how to do no input. If there's anything I didn't get to, just ask me, and I'll try to answer your questions. I'm not a fucking expert either. This is just kind of my anecdotal like experience with using no input. All right, see ya.